dignitaries, faculty members, resident doctors, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I will speak on the theme, the practice of medicine in the 21st century. Dear colleagues, the accelerating pace of change in medicine stems from an explosion of scientific information and the need to blend this information into the art and practice of medicine. No greater opportunity, responsibility, or obligation can fall to the lot of human being than to become a doctor. In the care of suffering. In the care of the suffering, the physician needs technical skill, scientific knowledge, and human understanding. Tact, sympathy, and understanding are expected of a doctor, for the patient is no mere collection of symptoms, signs, disordered function, damaged organs, and disturbed emotions. The patient is human. The combination of medical knowledge, intuition, experience, and judgment defines the art of medicine, which is as necessary to the practice of medicine as is a sound scientific base. In this era of technomedicine, doctors need to approach patient not as cases or diseases, but as individuals whose problems are too often transcend their physical complaints. Most patients are anxious and fearful. Doctors should instill confidence and should be reassuring, but should never be arrogant. The ideal patient-physician relationship is based on thorough knowledge of the patient, on mutual trust, and on the ability to communicate. Implementation of infection control systems, enforcement of hand washing protocols, and careful oversight of antibiotic use can minimize complications of nosocomial infections. The practice of medicine is dependent on the sum total of medical knowledge, which in turn is based on an understanding, which in turn is based on an unending chain of scientific discovery, clinical observation, analysis, and interpretation. There is a strong need to link research to practice. Evidence-based medicine is the integration of best research with clinical expertise and patient values. Ladies and gentlemen, public expectations of medicine are very high. Good medical education demands a useful match with the healthcare system. The doctor of the new millennium should be able to be a caregiver, communicator, decision maker, community leader, and manager. In modern society, constantly engaged in technological improvement, information superhighway, consumerism, and commercialization, medical profession is becoming a prisoner of market structure. Dear colleagues, solution lies in faith and mutual trust. There is need to reduce market element by adopting a holistic approach to restoring social, cultural, and ethical elements in healthcare. It is actually a wonderful time. You are finally encountering patients. There are new situations and environments, and you are trying to learn the system. It's exciting and rewarding. it's also frightening. But when you meet people and get to help them, it gives you a wonderful feeling of fulfillment. It is a scary thing. You don't want to do anything wrong. The Hippocratic Oath says, do no harm. Dear colleagues, the best moments in the life of a doctor are cry of a newborn, the sound of restarting heartbeat when resuscitating a patient, waking up of a comatose patient, the genuine thank you of a patient relieved of pain, stress, illness. When someone randomly recognizes you in public and thanks you in front of your kids and family. When the poorest of the poor collect enough money and gift you sweets for treating them free. When anyone at work says, take some rest now, you have been working too much. When someone says, I want to become a doctor like you. When you are sick, you need doctors and nurses. You need their attention, their patience, their humanity. Yet one large study of nearly 7,000 doctors found that more than half of them reported at least one symptom of burnout. The same study showed declining satisfaction with work-life balance. The nearer doctors are to the point of care of patients, the worse burnout gets. Dear colleagues, confidence is one's own worth or abilities. Confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect, self-esteem define morale. Today morale is low. The core cause of the morale problem is the commodification of healthcare. Commodification means transforming the healthcare of the people into a commercial enterprise. The delivery of healthcare cannot be reduced to commerce. The first step to caring for the caregivers is to restore humanity and joy to their work. In November 2016 issue of The Lancet, there's a beautiful analysis of present-day health system. I quote, doctors are disillusioned by the absence of affirmation for the values and relationships that sustain their sense of purpose. Need enlightened leaders who recognize that medicine is a human endeavor and not an assembly line. Public sector hospitals are for the people, of the people, and by the people, and so are we. We should work as a team, as no hospital could function properly without the support of one and all associated with it. Dear colleagues, in many ways, the most innovative idea is the notion of preparing our residents and postgraduates in a principal clinical experience where they can be mentored, shepherded, and assisted along a pathway of professional and scientific learning in a clinical setting in which they can feel a closer attachment to the faculty and a closer loyalty to the institutions in which they are working. Residency is an intense experience that comes at a time in life when most new doctors are relatively young and still evolving their adult characters. In a manner similar to military training, residency throws young people together for lengthy, often emotion-laden duty stints in the hospital. Not surprisingly, and also like military service people, residents often form personal bonds from their shared experience that last for the rest of their lives. Most doctors carry vivid memories from their residency for the duration of their careers. Resident doctors are the direct interface of a teaching hospital with the patient, and their inputs can critically determine the outcome of care. Working in a large tertiary care institute places several demands upon them in the efficient discharge of their responsibilities. Dear Yoke Fellows, it is the time of hope. A culture of development has to be created out of the diversity of human experience. एक चिंगारी तूफान में राह दिखाती है, एक चिंगारी सागर में उबाल लाती है. एक चिंगारी तूफान में राह दिखाती है, एक चिंगारी सागर में उबाल लाती है, एक चिंगारी अंधेरों को जीना सिखाती है. Global excellence in education calls for innovating curriculum to helping our postgraduates develop a globally competitive edge. In research, global excellence involves recruiting academic and professional talent, encouraging and supporting the creation and dissemination of knowledge with global influence, as well as fostering a vibrant research culture. Global excellence in service is built on the synergies between education, research, and enterprise. Ladies and gentlemen, Thomas Edison founded the General Electric Company, also known as GE. He had more than 1,000 patents to his name, apparently more than anyone else. Isn't it ironic that someone who was deaf invented the phonograph, the first machine that could record and reproduce sound? Let me quote Edison's famous saying, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. Perspiration is commonly associated with working hard." What drives people to work hard? What drives people to work hard? Is it the carrot, the stick, or both? How long can hard work be sustained by carrots and sticks? An easy answer is for as long as they last. Yet, we notice that many people, including Edison, work painstakingly well beyond the kind of motivation that can be attributed to carrots or sticks. To varying extents, I believe we can all identify different times in our lives when we find ourselves working relentlessly and passionately. When we have passion for what we do, perspiration is not a chore, but necessary as well as enjoyable step towards realizing our goals. So perspiration is more than working hard. It's working relentlessly and passionately. We all have a chance at genius if we are prepared to work hard and to sweat a lot. Edison personified perseverance. the capacity to stand up again and again after every fall and move forward. Ladies and gentlemen, in our journey to learn, discover and serve, it is important to persevere because inevitably we encounter failure. In this journey, failure is not fatal. Succumbing to failure is. Persevering through failure is essential to create enduring success. The real failure is when we give up trying. As writer and genius Samuel Johnson once said, "Great works are performed not by strength, but by perseverance." Part of the genius is enduring success lies. Part of the genius in enduring success lies in perseverance and perspiration. Dear colleagues, the medical profession needs to evolve, as it always has, to ensure that the practice of medicine remains of relevance to the society it serves. However, despite these changes, core values such as caring and compassion remain central to the practice of medicine and are the profession's greatest asset. Whatever changes may occur, the relationship between doctors and society must be informed by these values and must remain at the heart of medical practice. What others call profession, we call passion. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Work is love made visible. I remember when medicos in Bosnia could perform surgical interventions under the candlelight. We, with better resources, difficult circumstances notwithstanding, can work wonders. Life is a race against time. It must make a contribution. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. We will be judged the way we judge. The secret of life is to have a mission, something you devote your entire life to, every minute of the day for your whole life. Once an old man was planting a tree and somebody asked him for whom he was doing so, when he cannot himself enjoy its benefits. The old man replied, "I have been enjoying the shade of a tree which somebody else had planted, and the future generation will enjoy the shade of tree I am planting now." Ladies and gentlemen, nothing remains same for long. Structures of society and institutions change. Our actions of yesterday laid the basis for tomorrow. We have had an impeccable past that now heralds the beginning of a brilliant future. To achieve something in life, it is the high skies you have to yearn for. With the massive information overload, our focus must be on helping residents and postgraduates to learn how to ask good questions, how to think critically and imaginatively about issues, how to apply advanced reasoning to come to useful insights and solutions. This is a challenging goal, but one which all of us who teach at academic institutions must embrace and contribute to. Their colleagues. Aristotle famously said, "Excellence is not an act but a habit." On culture, a much more contemporary definition goes like this. I quote, "Culture is what people do when no one is looking." Taken together, a culture of excellence is deeply rooted habit of mind, a strong instinctive desire to stretch to do even better, a continual impulse to self-surpass. We are what we repeatedly do. At SKIMS, there are no walls around minds, no walls to ideas, no walls to talent, and no walls between discovery, transfer, and application of knowledge. The quality of work and the quality of the worker are inseparable. Excellence comes when the performer takes pride in doing his best. Every job is a self-portrait of a person who does it. Do it right the first time, every time. The feeling of a job well done is the reward in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "If a man is called to be street sweeper, he should sweep streets even as Michelangelo painted or Beethoven composed music or Shakespeare wrote poetry. He should sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will pause to say, 'Here lived a great street sweeper who did his job well.'" Dear colleagues, SKIMS is advancing excellence in healthcare. We should focus on quality. Putting patients first is the key to improve the quality of health. Patients want to be treated with respect and friendliness. The greatest Prophet ﷺ said, I quote, "Indeed, Allah likes that whoever does a job, he should do it perfectly." Every human being is a viceroy on this planet created for a definite purpose. We are part of a big picture. Albert Einstein was once asked, "Why are we here?" He replied, "If the universe is an accident, we are accidents. But if there is meaning in the universe, there is meaning in us also." Ladies and gentlemen, winners live and work every day as if it were the last day. The reality is that life is a competition and we have to compete. Great people leave something behind. Winners recognize that no one can make it alone. Socrates taught Plato, Plato taught Aristotle, Aristotle taught Alexander the Great. Knowledge, had it not been passed along, would have died. Our greatest responsibility is to pass on a legacy that the coming generation can be proud of. We should pursue excellence in our distinctive areas of strength and realize our potential. We have what it takes to seize the opportunities and rise to the challenges ahead. Let us remain steadfast and resolute. we will stay the course. We have great responsibilities to the medical community and to the patients and to the public. All of us serve. Let us rise to the responsibilities of the new world. A brave new world that is united against the disease. United against the disease, poverty and corruption. A world that we can pass on to our progeny with the knowledge that we rose to the responsibilities of this new age. We should give this society all we have. Our imagination, courage, initiative, insight and skills. Our dreams have to be bigger. Our efforts have to be greater. There is a whole lot to gain. Dear colleagues, to create a better future, I will refer to the statement of Gandhi. You must be the change you wish to see. Providing low-cost treatment to the patients remains our goal, and we will continue to abide by it, even at a time when healthcare throughout the country is going through the stage of metamorphosis. Today, many private hospitals have mushroomed throughout the country, which boast of providing best-in-class health treatment. But where is the nation building? Personally, if I get ill, I cannot go and afford treatment in some high-class private hospital. So if I can't, how our 80% population will? It is good for those who can afford, but the truth is majority of people cannot. So, we at SKIMS have to continue our efforts to provide low-cost healthcare to our patients who keep a lot of expectation from us, and thus our role as a public sector hospital cannot be undermined. Because it is not only a mandate on us by the Constitution, but also our sincere responsibility and duty to help in nation building. Our mission is to create and nurture a community of the best people committed to leadership in alleviating human suffering caused by disease. Our endeavor should be to make our institutions as an intellectual destination and a transformative education through ideas that challenge and change the world. Ladies and gentlemen, इस बार भी बारिश खूब हुई और बादल टूट के बरसा था। इस बार भी बारिश खूब हुई और बादल टूट के बरसा था। गलियां कूचे जल थल थे पर सोच का दरिया प्यासा था। गलियां कूचे जल थल थे पर सोच का दरिया प्यासा था। बंद दरवाजों के शीशों पे जब बूंदों ने दस्तक दी, बंद दरवाजों के शीशों पे जब बूंदों ने दस्तक दी, एहसास हुआ तुम आए हो, अंदाज तुम्हारे जैसा था। Thank you very much. God bless you all.